This guy over here.
Oh my fucking
Start driving with this guy in the car. Drive.
Oh my fuck. Oh my god! You probably just ran him over. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Off the car. He was on the car.
Oh my god.
Is he dead?
I don't know.
Hopefully.
Okay, so that's Clavicular. He has gotten himself into another situation. I guess he had a stalker and he had to deal with them the hard way. A little bit of FAFO in the great state of Florida. I do believe this happened in Miami. That's where he lives. They were at like some sort of brand risk boxing event type of deal, and they had a stalker slash stream sniper messing with them, and this is how he chose to deal with it. I don't know what this is going to look like in a court of law. This kind of does look like self-defense. Florida has really great self-defense laws, but I do want you guys to pay attention to what was being said in the car, before and after the incident.
This guy over here.
Okay, so the other guy in the car clearly says, run this guy over. In case you guys didn't hear it, I know the volume's kind of low. The guy says, run this guy over. Now, I am not a cop. I'm not a district attorney, so I can't tell you how much danger Clavicular is or is not in right here in terms of stand your ground, but I do know Florida does have stand your ground laws. However, I don't know that clears him if someone else says, hey, run this guy over, and he does it. It's like, yeah, you have stand your ground laws, you have self-defense, but this guy saying run him over and then him doing it, that might muddy the waters just a little bit, because it seems like the guy is agitated, which makes Clav agitated, so he might have acted in an irresponsible fashion when he didn't need to. I don't really know.
Start driving with this guy in the car.
Then he says, start driving with this guy on the car. So he's giving him very clear directions. Once again, I live in California. If this was California, you're cooked. You are absolutely finished. Because with you saying that almost indicates that you just want him to do this because you're upset. There's no mention of you being afraid for your life. Clav is perfectly composed, cool, calm, and collected. Cool as a cucumber, so you don't seem like you're in danger. But once again, this is Florida, not California, so I don't know exactly how this will play out, even including this guy giving him directions to run dude over 2 times. I don't know how that's going to look.
Drive.
And the guy is clearly acting ridiculous.
Oh my fuck. Oh my god! You probably just ran him over.
And of course, you have the woman crying because it's all about her. But the guy's acting ridiculous. But the question becomes, is he an actual threat or is he just, acting ridiculous? Once again, Florida's a different kind of place. I don't know where the line is drawn between ridiculous behavior and actual, you being a threat. Because Clav is a streamer. This guy is a streamer. This guy he's a stream sniper. I think that's like his whole thing. He just watches people on streams and then he pulls up and harasses them. So this case could have like really big implications for the streaming world, because Miami is home to a lot of content creators. So I don't, this is going to be very interesting. It could get very interesting.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Off the car. He was on the car.
Oh my god.
Is he dead?
I don't know.
Hopefully.
Okay. And then he says, is he dead? Everybody says, I don't know. And then he says, hopefully. And he's cool and collected the whole time. So when it comes to self-defense, I don't think you necessarily have to be panicked. I mean, you're allowed to be composed and still recognize that there's a threat and then still neutralize that threat. You don't have to panic. But, what is a jury going to say? I can tell you right now, if he was in California, he's done. But Florida, like I said, different place, different set of rules. FAFO has been greenlit, and this guy could have just, he probably has just brought it on himself, and the judge is going to say, hey, no harm, no foul. But I don't know. Now, it should be noted.
Trying to leave up out of here?
There's a lot of people who are on Clav's side because like pretty much everybody in the parking lot of this event saw what was going down. So he should have plenty of witnesses, so that shouldn't be a problem.
I think he is.
Trying to leave up out of here?
Nah, that's my friend right there.
Oh man, come on, bro. He the good guy.
He is?
The motherfucker on the ground, the bad guy. He did what he was supposed to, run his motherfucking ass over.
Okay, all right, sounds good.
Brother safe. He did
Yeah.
Darius, big ass, you came out and helped him.
Bro, I wasn't nowhere near here. I had left.
And you know what the trick is? I don't know him, right?
Yeah.
But when he was coming in, I just was joking saying, "Hey, bro, put me on the blog."
Yeah.
I see him coming out. And it was some guys. It was some guys around.
No, yeah, I saw that. I was with him.
Or what was transpired, but you could tell it wasn't nice.
People like that
It wasn't that nice.
Yeah.
And I came over here.
That's what I told him. That's what I told
You
him.
better walk around with him.
Shit.
Okay, so as you guys can see, the security people, the parking attendants, they're all on Clavicular side. They said, you did what you were supposed to do. You should have ran him over. Clearly, the guy was being obnoxious. The guy was clearly acting like a fool. I mean, you guys saw the first video for yourself. So he's got the witnesses. It seems like to me, knowing the little bit that I know about Florida, he should be fine. Like, this should not necessarily be this big of a deal. I think he's going to get sued civilly. Like, I do believe the guy in the car saying, run this guy over, start driving with this guy on the hood, I think that might open him up for a civil suit. I think from a self-defense standpoint, I think he's good to go. Florida's great with that. But from a civil standpoint, they could argue he didn't have to do that. They might even be able to argue that he endangered the other person. I don't know if he ran into I don't know what he ran into. If he ran into another car or if he ran into like a building or like a pole or something. I don't know what he ran into. But then he drove off. So that's the other part of this. It's like a hit and run type of deal. So, you might have something there, and there's always the chance of a civil suit. So, but I mean,
I walked into his car and I left.
Now, like I said, the guy is this is the guy. This does not look like a sane person, and he's not acting like a sane person. And you're not gonna see this person and think, oh yeah, he's kosher, he's good to go. So,
As soon as you hit that gas, you recorded the whole thing.
Yep.
As soon as you hit that gas, you hit that other car. You couldn't see nothing because he's on top.
Yeah, exactly. I can't see shit.
okay, so he's talking to the security people, and this might tank his case, believe it or not, because it seems like they're all getting their stories together. Like, that's what it kind of looks like. Because the security person's like, oh, well, I mean, he jumped on your car and you couldn't see anything. And then he's like, yeah, exactly. I couldn't see anything. Like I said, I'm not a cop. I'm not a district attorney. I don't know how people will interpret that. But from a civil standpoint, like I said, self-defense might be good to go for, but civilly, I think he's going to end up getting sued for quite a bit. And it just looks like he's trying to justify himself specifically on camera, on stream. He wants all of this stuff documented. So he's saying a bunch of stuff that will clear him after the fact. But it looks like he's trying to collaborate with witnesses on some type of stuff. So this might actually cook him, because a judge might say, you influenced this person or you influenced these people. They could say that there was possibly a money exchange or a promise of future money exchange or a promise of like favors. I'll put you on. Because remember, the one guy said, hey, put me on the blog. Well, why would you want to be on the blog? Are you trying to further your own brand? So there's a lot of things going on that could cook this guy.
When you don't take
Well, that's why.
you got police here.
Well, when you're afraid. Well, I don't know what's going
I know
on.
how you feeling, but
Yeah.
you could have a little bit more calm on that. We don't know how this motherfucker.
No, you don't know. There's
It's not
armed.
supposed to say anything,
There's
but
armed people surrounding my
you
car.
jump on your car?
Yeah, and they're armed.
Now, he's saying that these people are armed, but he also said that I don't know what's going on. So which one is it? Do you know what's going on, or do you know that these people are armed? Because the other guy it seems like one of the security people is trying to actually condemn him, chastise him maybe. I don't know. But this guy, but now he's essentially trying to lay out all the factors of the case, none of which we actually were able to see, other than the guy jumping on the car.
They all have pistols. They all have pistols. So,
If they could prove that, you're a little bit safer.
well, the ones with pistols,
Open carry, but
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They're all unregistered guns.
So now the security guy is saying you have to be able to prove this claim of these people having pistols. Because he's just saying, oh, they all had pistols. And I could see the gun print. So first, in his own video, he says, I don't know what's going on. He also said when the guy jumped on the car, oh, I didn't know where I was going. I couldn't see because he jumped on the car. And it's nighttime and everything like that. Now he's saying he could clearly see that these people had pistols in their waistband, or he could see the pistol print through the sweatpants or through the pants. And the guy is saying, you know, you got to be able to prove all of this. So he's kind of contradicting himself. Like I said, I'm not a lawyer, but I could see how a lawyer would eat this case up.
Yeah.
They flashed it on you. That was
He's saying that the guns are unregistered, but how do you know?
I see the print popping through their sweatpants when they're.
Okay, so the guy asks him, did they flash it? So the guy is the security, the parking dude is actually asking him some pretty relevant questions, because a DA, a cop, they're going to ask this same stuff. Like I said, I can't say, I almost can guarantee you that he won't go to jail, but from a civil suit, because he's trying to claim, oh, these guys all have guns. And the guy said, I can just see it. I can see the gun print. They're going to tear him apart in court.
Aggressing us. I see the guys.
enough.
I see a pistol. Yes, they were aggressing us.
So he's saying they were aggressing us, and I did see a pistol. Now he has to prove that, right? Now he has to prove that. And I don't think he's going to be able to prove any of that. And like I said, he's just doing this to kind of make sure all of this is on camera, which it's not going to help him. The first thing he should have done was call his lawyer, right? Because he's making this case so much worse for himself. Like I said, I don't know Florida's laws. If he's cleared from the standpoint of stand your ground in what he did, that might clear him and make him not liable for a civil suit. But like I said, I don't know Florida's laws. So like in California, that's not the case. Like you saw what happened with OJ. OJ got cleared of killing his wife, and then they still came for him civilly. I don't know how that works. So we also have video of the actual assailant. I can't play the audio because they're at some place a few weeks ago, and they're playing like some Chris Brown in the back, so I don't want to get a copyright. But you can clearly see that this is the same person, and according to this video, this took place some weeks ago. Like I said before, the guy is a stream sniper. It's kind of just what he does. It's his thing. It's a valid form of content creation. So, I mean, you got people who stream, you got people who stream snipe. So it is what it is. So either way, I'm not a lawyer. I can't tell you what's going to go on. I think Clav has gotten himself in a bad situation. You know, the stream sniper has experienced some FAFO, but I think Clav might experience a little bit of that too when they hit him in the pockets, because I personally think that he left himself open for a lawsuit by not shutting down his stream and getting on the phone with a lawyer after this happened. Right? Why are you trying to justify yourself to parking attendants where they can then question you, and then you say stuff that the DA or any kind of attorney can just hop on? That's just stupid. But we'll see, man, because this is one of those cases that could probably change the landscape of streaming. Florida is the home of a lot of streamers. Everybody goes to Miami to be an influencer, and this is one of those weird cases where the guy that he ran over was aggressing. He was harassing. But at the same time, the guy clearly has his phone out, and he's filming the guy. He's filming Clavicular, doing a whole bunch of stuff to get his attention. But that's what a lot of these streamers do. They get in people's face with a camera, and they do stuff to get their clips. So it's like, at what point in time is it just entertainment? At what point in time is it protected under free speech? At what point in time does it become, something more where laws have to be written and people are held liable for certain things? Not saying the guy was directly attacking, because it didn't seem like he was beating on the car, but he was being highly obnoxious, and he did jump on the car. So, I mean, that could be considered an attack, but it didn't seem like the guy was being aggressive to the point where somebody could reasonably say, I feared for my life. I don't know. I think this is going to be an interesting case, but we'll have to wait for all the facts to come out.